WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our WTIM Pana morning show with business, civic, and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana morning show is brought to you by our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Landmark of Taylorville, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save a Lot, and Locked and Loaded Limited. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is Melissa Miller. She is the president of Pana Pride. Melissa, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
And great to have you here to talk a little bit about what's going on with Pana, what's already happened, and let's start with what's already taken place and kind of get a feel for that and how that went. We know that you had Pana Fire, or in conjunction with Pana Fire, had a bingo night. How did that go from your end, and what was that going towards?
So in conjunction with the fire department, Pana Pride helped with music bingo fundraiser to raise money for the fireworks. Don't have any final numbers on that as of today, but it was very successful. If anyone wasn't able to attend and would like to donate towards the fireworks this year, they can definitely send donations to us, and I can give that information at the end where donations can be sent. But I think it went pretty good.
And what was what's the dollar amount that we're trying to raise for the fireworks?
Honestly, at the top of my head, I don't know. The fire department is actually in charge of that. We just kind of assisted them with the fundraiser.
Okay. But either way, going towards the Pana Fireworks show coming up in not too long. We'll get final numbers and other things like that down the road. You said music bingo. What type of music were we focusing on? Was there like a specific set of genres or specific year range? What did that look like in terms of the music?
Honestly, again, I don't have the answer to that either. I didn't assist with this particular fundraiser. I wasn't there. I'm not really sure what music. I don't think it was specific to any certain genre.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, let's talk then, and I'm glad to hear that the bingo went well. Let's talk then a little bit about some of the flowers that you're preparing to go around town, just as an act to kind of beautify Pana. I know you're needing some help with that as well. What can you tell me there?
So upcoming events we've got going on, starting in April, we'll be preparing for spring. We'll be getting the baskets. We get the hanging baskets from Zimmerman's. It's down by Vandalia, I believe. And we'll get those hung up, and then we'll have volunteers that water those a couple times a week. We'll be doing a sign up for weeding uptown. We walk up and down the main sidewalks on the main street there in Pana and pull weeds. We have signups for that, typically in increments of 2 weeks. So you sign up for 2 weeks, and then just at your convenience, you go up and pull weeds for an hour, 2 hours, whatever you can fit in. Anyone who would like to volunteer to do that, they can just message us on our Facebook
and be a part of it and get involved there. Is there anything else? So you mentioned, obviously the cleaning of the sidewalks and with the flower baskets and even, watering them as time goes on. But anything else that goes around with Pana Pride in terms of kind of a spring cleanup, a little bit of a spring cleaning?
Yeah, we do have, we'll be mulching the trees that line the main street there in Pana. We'll be mulching those soon. And then in conjunction with the Lincoln Prairie Trail group, they're working on the bike trail. The bridge is getting put in there by Taylorville, and they're planning a bunch of things to celebrate that when it's done. And so we are going to be trying to spruce up our end of the bike trail. We'll be out there painting the parking lot lines, the concrete parking blocks. We'll be painting the curbs uptown as well. I forgot that. We'll be painting the curbs uptown as needed. And then also at the entrance there at the bike trail, that's as you're coming into Pana, we have a new welcome sign, and we're going to be putting some landscaping there this year as well.
Just getting things nice and pretty.
Those are all things we can use yes, get everything all nice and pretty and ready. And those are all things we can use volunteers for as well.
Sure. And in terms of when you need those volunteers for putting the flowers out and around town, even, or getting that start to the Lincoln Bike Trail, when can you tell me some of those dates that you might need that assistance?
We have a meeting next week, and we'll be discussing that.
Okay.
and getting more details. And then we'll put something out on our Facebook page saying volunteers for this. This is the day, etc. But we haven't pinned down a date for that yet. Anybody who'd like to volunteer with the weeding, definitely can reach out to us now, because we'll be starting that soon.
Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to the Lincoln Bike Trail as well, part of that probably will be once that project is more so finalized and the weather starts to perk up even more after the frost that we got late last night and into this early morning. So totally makes sense there. And so some of that landscaping, the weeding around town, painting of curbs uptown even as well, those will be taking place. So just stay tuned to the Pana Pride Facebook page and maybe attend the meeting. I believe those weekly meetings are Thursdays at 6, correct? Once a month.
The second Thursday of every month at 6 o'clock, our committees meet. If you want to be on a specific committee, beautification is one of the committees, and that's the one that does a lot of the landscaping that we just talked about. So if you are interested in being a part of that committee, you can come at 6 and work with them to line out details on different projects. 6:30 is the general meeting. You can come and just sit in and listen to all the groups talk about what they've got planned for upcoming events.
That sounds very nice in terms of just understanding and knowing what some of those little projects going around town are whenever you see some people working on different things, and then you have an idea as well there. And I'm sure we can touch on more of that too later in the interview as well. I know there was another deal you were wanting to talk about a little bit today, and that was the Pana Market set to come around in May. I don't know much about the Pana Market. Can you fill me in there on what it is and what the goal for that is?
I sure can. So the Pana Market is a vendor event. Right now we have 30 vendors signed up already. Joni's Express is going to be there selling selling food for us. We are also going to be selling, every year we do flowers and plants, succulents, herbs that we sell as well. And we're going to have that again this year. This year, we're also going to include with our flowers, we're going to have some terracotta mixed planters and some hanging baskets to go with that as well. Looks like there might be petunias, geraniums, impatiens, some mixed flowers, a little bit of all that.
And so it's kind of a plant sale going on wrapped into the Pana Market with those other vendors then.
Yep, and that'll be on May 3rd from 9 to 1 at the Pana High School. The money that we're going to raise from that, we'll put towards the beautification efforts that we've talked about with the mulching of the trees, the flower baskets, what we're going to do there at the bike trail with the landscaping, and anything else that might come up in the future.
Sure. And so is there any other, and this is just me asking here, are there any other markets or farmers market type of deals that come to Pana that you're also a part of, or is this kind of that mainstay?
This one here is one that we put on twice a year. Okay. So this normally in May, right before Mother's Day, and then again closer to Christmas, we do one. We've done. We had some that we did in the past, but we haven't been doing those every week. We used to have one in the summer, but we've kind of just scaled back and are just doing this one for right now. Okay.
And so that will be May 3rd at Pana High School, it sounds like. And then that was the Pana Market. It's got really vendors and others as well, but also wrapped in there is that plant sale going on as well. So bingo with the Pana Fire Department, that music bingo that took place was a success and went well. We're getting prepared for flowers going around town and getting those at the Lincoln Prairie Trail, at least at the trailhead, cleaning up of the welcome sign and other things there, painting of the curbs, and really everything just kind of touching up on Pana. Now that you're a little more comfortable in the role, Melissa, and I know that this is something still relatively new to you, last time we talked, were there any goals or anything like that for you? At this point now, is there anything that you'd like to see over the course of this year, the Pana Pride organization be able to do or put on, or is there anything in the works behind the scenes that you're kind of thinking, well, maybe that might be something I'd like to try and see if we can't get some interest?
I mean, right now, our big thing, kind of, I guess you'd say behind the scenes, is we're trying to work on getting some electrical upgrades around the park, so that the Christmas lights are a little more effective, I guess. We had a little bit of trouble this year with some of our timers not working and trying to get the power without using a zillion power cords. So that's something that we're working on right now. We've got a team that's working on that with the city to try to narrow down what we can do, where we can put things. I would like to see that happen. It's something that brings a lot of people together. When we do work on the lights, people come out to help us put them up and take them down, and people come and enjoy them. So right now, that's probably one of the things that's our biggest behind the scenes effort.
Well, and it's nice that you have a little bit of time still. You got some months still to work on that and put that all together. Well, I'm speaking with President of Pana Pride, Melissa Miller, and we're talking all things Pana, their music bingo that they just held with the Pana Fire Department to raise funds towards the fireworks show. Flowers out and around town, getting volunteers and efforts put behind that. The Pana Market coming May 3rd to Pana, and that will be hosted at the Pana High School with vendors and a plant sale, as well as some additional work going around the city. We'll join Melissa Miller back in just one moment here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by folks like Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save-A-Lot, and Locked and Loaded Limited. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. Your information station, WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, as well as Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, your Pana Save a Lot and Locked and Loaded Limited. My name is Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is Melissa Miller. She is the president of Pana Pride, and we've been talking about all types of things in terms of music bingo, flowers around town, the Pana Market coming up on May 3rd, and even work being done with the Lincoln Prairie Trail. But I think we'd like to kind of turn our attention to how we get some of that additional information out there as well. And Melissa, what can you tell me about the meetings? I know we briefed on those a little bit, but you mentioned kind of a twofold meeting where committees meet and then a general meeting. When are those, and what kind of takes place during those meetings? Melissa, can you hear me? Melissa, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Melissa, I was wondering about meetings with Pana Pride and what kind of takes place at those, the times for those.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Melissa? It looks like we have unfortunately lost Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride. We'll go ahead. We'll see if we can't bring her back on the line for just one moment here. But we'll have to turn our attention to a couple of commercials for just one moment. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
Hello?
WTIM.
Let's try this again. You're listening to the WTIM Pana Morning Show here on your information station. I'm joined by Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride. And Melissa, hopefully you can hear me now.
I can, yes.
Okay, perfect. Melissa, I was hoping that you could fill the folks in about your meetings, things that are discussed, the times, and everything in between.
Sure. So again, we meet the second Thursday of every month at the Pana Christian Church. At 6 o'clock is the committees meet. The committees, we have a beautification committee, an events and activities committee, a demo committee. Those three committees meet at 6. So if you're interested in any of those specific functions and would like to be a part of the actual planning committee part of it, they meet at 6. At 6:30 is the general meeting, which everyone just joins together in one large room, and we talk about each individual committee's upcoming events and plans for different things that are discussed in their meeting prior to the 6:30 meeting. You do not have to come to the meetings to volunteer for projects, and everyone is a member of Pana Pride, so everyone is welcome to come, and we'd love to see everyone join us.
And be a part of getting the community that you live in up to the place that you want it to be as well, and to provide some of that input and some of that work as well that goes alongside with it. And Melissa, some of which you probably need financial support on. How do folks donate? How do folks help out with that cause, even fiscally, if they can't help out physically? Melissa, can you hear me? Well, it looks like, unfortunately, we might have lost Melissa again here this morning, but we are speaking with Pana Pride President Melissa Miller here this morning to talk about all things Pana Pride. We talk music bingo, flowers out and around town, and the Pana Market coming up on May 3rd, as well as some additional work meetings the second Thursday at 6 p.m., and donations are welcome. You're listening to WTIM, our Pana Morning Show, here on your information station.